んにちは。こんにちは。こんにちは。
I mean, come on. How do you guys expect to beat me?
Greetings. Welcome, welcome. I'm a little bit zoomed out today. Let me see if I can. There we go. Evening, Lansley. Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon, I think. Lojo? Yeah, Lojo, it should be like 1 o'clock in Lojo land. That's afternoon. Only just. Oh, man. Apologies for missing the stream yesterday. I was not feeling well. That happens every time I start back on the insulin. The first day or two is, whew. I don't know why it makes me that sick. When I start back on it. Like I know it's the body getting reused to being medicated and all that, but man, it just kinda sucks. Yeah. Oh. So, but how have things been out there in Lojo Land and Lansley Land? Chatland. That's what we'll... How are things in Chatland? Everybody's got their own little lands now. I will wait for replies while I am applying Band-Aid to finger. Can't complain. Nice. I'm still swapping out the bandages on my finger, but I don't know if I technically need to anymore. I don't know, it's still very red. Still very red. So I assume that bad things are still happening, like, inside. I just can't see them. Started clearing your room at last. Hip started hurting again. Annoyingly. Yeah. I need to do some cleaning and clearing out of my room for stuff. Primarily to find more stuff to sell. But yeah, every time that I start doing something, my back starts acting up. And it's doubly so now because I don't have the meds for my back. So yeah, when it starts acting up, it's no relief on the horizon for it. I'm gonna hit the reset button. See if that fixes, because it was getting kind of widescreen again. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Okay, that and that. Nice. Yeah. I am so far... Like, I have been so, like, blah this past month that I have not even... like fixed the upcoming schedule. This is still what it was last month. And this one is just all kinds of blah. and it wants to see if we're paying attention. Oh, the thing. I'm not sure what's going on with it. Yeah. I need to implement additional models and clothing and stuff, but I'm not good at making the clothing. I think that's the hardest part of doing the 3D models, is making new clothing for it. Yeah, it's something with the VTuber program that is doing that, because it's also there are two programs that are running that are driving my model. VC Face, which is connected to the iPhone, which is directly driving the model. And then all of the interactions that are being driven by this program, VTuber Plus. But this program is now showing, the window used to be the same size as the VC Plus window. And I can make it that big. And it used to remember being that big. But now it doesn't. Every time I start it up, it's mini again. And I can do the reset and then zoom back in. Yeah, but it's being weird, and I don't know why. I'm pretty sure it's this program specifically that is doing it. I have other options for programs, but a lot of the stuff that I've got, like the splash and the bucket, are things that are very specific to this program, like fire and the peas. And I've got stinky lines too. They're little green lines. Ooh. Green stinky lines. I haven't put those in anything yet. And spin. So this program does a lot of really cool stuff. Like all these interactions are from this program. But this program is also causing the widescreen issue. Because if I turn this back on, you can now see the two model projections kind of side by side. Here, let me make this one the appropriate size. So the one on the left is the one that's being sent from VC Face, and the one on the right, Nari versus Girth Nari. Yeah, the one on the right is the one that's being sent from VTuber Plus, and I can use the thin Nari. But this one doesn't have the interactions on it. That only comes from here. But I don't know what's happening here. That is causing the widescreen to happen. When I turn the visuals on, it fixes it. But when I turn the visuals off, it gradually becomes like widescreened again. And I don't know what's causing that. And I have the visuals turned off to save on rendering. But it's becoming more and more of a thing where I have to go through this program and reset everything every time I turn it on, or it just stays broken. But yeah, these programs use a lot more memory when they are active and doing stuff.
I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
Yes, and I'm gonna need to find time to science the shit out of this. Luckily, I think there is something that's coming up in about a month that might help with that. Game's done quick. I love this. I love this. Let me put everything back here. This event. It's set for July the 5th through July the 12th. So for the 5th through the 12th for that week, there's not going to be normal streams on the channel. Instead, there's going to be co-streams of me streaming games done quick and reacting to several different speedruns and things that I like. So the streams are going to be all over the place for that week. I'm going to be more matching the streams that I want to see. So yeah, like we may have a 8 a.m. stream. We may have a midnight stream. It's gonna be all over the place. There will be streams. They would just be sporadic, and I will mark in Discord the streams that I am looking forward to on any particular day. Like Donkey Kong Country 2, I typically always watch the first stream, right? So it kicks off at 12:30. I'll be kicking off the stream at 12:30 to match it. And the Donkey Kong games are typically very fun. And they don't have Who's on the Couch up yet. But typically Spike Vegeta is on the couch, and Spike is a friend of the channel and a very entertaining person, in my opinion. So I'm typically like watching the Donkey Kong stuff. Anything anyway. The last time I saw the Talos Principle, it was a really interesting and fun run. So like these two, I'm definitely gonna be there for. Fire Emblem Three Houses, I know nothing about Fire Emblem. I've never played a Fire Emblem game. I know half the cast of Smash Brothers is from Fire Emblem. So yeah, like this one might, like I'll tune in and see what Greticle Vixen is like as a performer of the speedrun, but I'll probably tune out for this one. I Am Your Beast, I have no idea what this game is. A Commodore 61 speedrun for Snoopy, oh my gosh. So what my streaming would look like on this day is we would be streaming from basically 12:30 to 4 o'clock. And then I would take a break until probably the checkpoint and come back in and start a new stream on the checkpoint, because Devil May Cry 5 sounds really interesting. I'm a fan of the Devil May Cry series, although I didn't get all the way through it. I'm a huge fan of Symphony of the Night. 80% in Luck mode sounds fun. Kirby games are almost always fun. Crypto the Necro Dancer is absolute insanity. I think it's home to one of the hardest challenges in all of gaming, Aria's Ascent. But yeah, watching anything Crypto the Necro Dancer speedrun is always amazing. So that just sounds like a fun time. And then I'm a huge fan of the Spyro series too, having played them for the first time with the Reignited trilogy on the channel. So like all 5 of these entries is really things I'm interested in. Especially Crypto the Necro Dancer, because Aria's Ascent, which they've done before. They've done Aria's Ascent as part of Crypto the Necro Dancer before, and it's always a fun thing to watch. I think it's probably one of the hardest challenges in all of speedrunning. Well, in all of gaming. Like, it's like Mount Rushmore on hardest things you can do in gaming. Because if you don't know what Crypto the Necro Dancer is, they're playing some really catchy music in the background. And every movement and action that you take has to be with the beat of the music. You get multipliers for being on beat for the majority of the song. And then there are modes where if you miss a beat, you die. So you have to hit every beat perfectly. And you start at level 1, and as you go down deeper into the crypt, you get more powerful and you get power-ups and stuff like that. So that by the time you're on the last level, you like have all this awesome gear and abilities and stuff. And yeah, and you're going down there to rescue your mom, Arya. But then that unlocks Arya. And Arya doesn't start at the top of the crypt. She starts on the bottom of the crypt, the hardest level, at level 1. So now you're starting with no power-ups on the hardest level of the game. And with Arya, if you drop the beat, you die. So you have to play from the hardest level to the easiest level, being at your weakest and then getting stronger as you go up through to the weaker area of the dungeon. And it's called Arya's Ascent, and I think it's one of the hardest challenges in gaming. It's definitely on the Mount Rushmore of hardest things that I've ever done in a video game for me. And the fun thing about it is that it's legitimate difficulty. Because if you're good enough, you can do it. And Arya just requires that you play perfectly. And you can start with characters that if you drop the beat, you die. Normally, there are other characters who have that attribute on them. So, like, if you play the game enough, you can get good enough to never take a hit. And if you can do that, then Arya's Ascent is no problem for you. It just takes longer to clear the enemies on the floor because you're doing less damage initially. But if you're somebody who does drop the beat of the floor periodically, yeah, that's a death and you're restarting the floor. So yeah. Crypt of the Necrodancer is fun. That's my point. Crypt of the Necrodancer is fun. Then starting Monday at midnight. To be fair, like, I think I've heard of No More Heroes. I have no idea what it is. Superland, never heard of that. Thirsty Suitors, I have an idea of what this is. This is one of those anime. I would assume it's one of those anime boyfriend games, but I've never seen it. Snowboard Kids, never heard of it. Death's Door, I have heard of this, but I've never played it. Absalom, no idea. Blue Fire, no idea. Dragon Quest XI, heard of it, seen it, never played it. Constance, never played it. SSX Trixie versus SSX3. I know what both of these games are. They're snowboarding games. Never played either of them. So we're looking at pretty much all of Monday. With nothing that I'm terribly interested in. So I will probably be taking Monday as normal. With no stream in the morning. And then the collaboration stream starting in this block right here. So still doing the collab stream with Lady on this particular day. The rundown are usually pretty good. I am aware of BBB and Tunic. So these two games I'm interested in. I'm also aware of Europo 50. I know what these are. It's a collection of little mini games. And Super Monkey Ball has always... It's tricky to get a rock to rhyme. To rock a rhyme that's right on time. It's tricky. Yeah. So I'm inclined to watch this section of the speed run from 2:30 to like, well, actually going all the way through, because this is gonna be Tuesday, Monday. So right here would be the ladies stream. So from about 1:15 to when is this starting? 7:15, about 1 to 7. Mostly doing part of the SXX games. I've never played them. Okay, so this is midnight to noon. Yeah, I'm not gonna be covering any of these games midnight to noon, and I'm gonna skip Girly Pop. So we'll start up at 2:30, I guess, on Monday. The theme tune "Tricky" by Run DMC. Run DMC is a group that I know about. That's Run DMC is the rap group that saved Aerosmith. And if you don't know anything about that, it's true. Like, Run DMC saved Aerosmith. They were dying horribly. Yeah, walk this way. And yeah, they did a collaboration with Run DMC, and it put them back on the top of the charts. And then they started collaborating with everybody, and they're like, "Hey, this is actually a good way to not fall into obscurity. We should make music with artists that are popular, and then we can be popular by association." So let's continue down the list. Super Mario Odyssey. I like watching a lot of the Mario games, but Odyssey is just... I think Odyssey is probably one of the worst Mario games. And it's little things that make me not like Mario Odyssey. Like, movement and gameplay and everything is fine. Story-wise, Odyssey is kind of meh. And I don't know whose idea it was to not let you chronicle collection in Odyssey. But whoever's idea that was should be fired. Because here's the thing. Mario Odyssey up in the corner. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, up in the corner, Mario Odyssey will count the number of moons that you've got in that level. Now, here's the problem. Mario Odyssey has more moons than the counter has spots. So your moon counter will go up ultimately to 999. And then it stops there. And there's well over 1,000 moons in the game. So yeah, like you'll cap out right there, and there are still more moons in the game to collect that are just not counted anywhere. They're just there. That it really, really turns me off of this game. Like, how are you going to put collectibles in the game? Expect the player to get the collectibles, but not track that they're getting those collectibles. You just kind of half-ass your tracking there. I don't like that. Put another digit on your counter. It's not that hard. This isn't 1990 when we're counting the bits in order to, like, save memory space. Like, this is an integer. It goes to 65,555, right? Like, I know the bit, how many digits are in the basic integer. You can have 4 digits on this counter. There's no reason not to have 4 digits on the counter. There's no reason that on this screen here, that there are some levels where the moons go off the bottom of the screen, and you just can't see all the extra moons that you're getting because your counter's not big enough. I hate that. And I hate Mario Odyssey kind of because of that. Because this is just the easiest way to point out how they were lazy in the development of this game. But the thing is, it's not modern Nintendo. Because there are so many other modern Nintendo games that are really, really good that don't do this. This is very specifically a Mario Odyssey problem. Now, there are a lot of problems with Nintendo, but usually game design doesn't fall as one of the problems that Nintendo has. But it is all over the place with Mario Odyssey. And it just really rubs me the wrong way. Like, Mario Odyssey is the only Mario game that I haven't done a 100% of, because when I learned that after you get about 70% of the stuff, the game just stops tracking everything after that, well, what point is there for me to get anything after that? Like, I like to see the little screens that show me that I've, like, collected all of the stuff. But if you're going to put an extra 700 moons in the game and they're just there, and I'm not going to get credit for collecting them other than they're just not in the world anymore, I'm not incentivized to go out and collect those moons. So, yeah. Well, did I? No, it's right here. So yeah, I'm probably not. I probably wouldn't watch Super Mario Odyssey, even if it wasn't overlapping the collaboration time with Lady. I'm not at all interested in Hey You, Pikachu. Like, this was the microphone game for the Nintendo 64, where it came with a crappy little microphone. You could yell at Pikachu and he would turn and look at the screen. It might be interesting. I'm not particularly interested in it. Ratchet and Clank, again, not a series that I've played. So, like, they're on my list, but I've not actually played any of the Ratchet and Clank games, so I can't really say if I would. I'm not really interested in it because I haven't played it. And if I haven't played it and I want to play it someday, I tend to not focus on those speedruns all that much, unless they're, like, really awesome. Jak and Daxter, which I assume Gordon and Daxter is about. Also a series that I've never played because, like, at the time that these series were popular, I did not have a PlayStation. I was a Nintendo guy. Because growing up in the 90s, you picked which console you were, and then that was the console that you were. So I was with Nintendo during the PS1 era, where these series got started. So I kind of skipped them. It's the same reason that I skipped Crash Bandicoot coming up. Going into Tuesday at midnight. This section here, I kind of like. I like the look of the old 90s shooters, which these two have that look. And BioShock Infinite is just a fun game. So there's probably going to be a midnight to 3 a.m. Eastern Time stream covering these three. These two are also kind of interesting. Ogre Battle not as much, but Magical Quest 3 is a pretty solid game. Going into the super morning time here, I'm thinking I'll probably cover these three and then I'll break and I'll not cover these right here. Ogre Battle down to Streets of Rage 2, because I'm not that interested in them. Gex I'm kind of interested in, but then I'm not really interested in anything else down to Stardew Valley, which is a race, which is interesting. It's a room race. I've not heard of this. So I'm thinking on Tuesday we'll start with Stardew Valley at around about noon. Then we have the rundown. Then we have Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic 3, awesome. Jedi Fallen Order, awesome game. Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, also awesome. Super Meat Boy 3D. I'm not that excited for Super Meat Boy. Meat Boy 64. This is like a custom ROM thing, then maybe. I don't know. I'm not good at the Meat Boy games, so by extension, so yeah. Sorry, Vorpal. I'm not good at the Meat Boy games, so I don't particularly pay attention to them. I would be interested in Hollow Knight Silk Song. I've seen enough of this. I wonder what a woo percent is. Oh, please. Monster Hunter Wilds Dusk. Nah. That looks to be about 9. Pragmata would be one that I'm kind of interested in. I want to play Pragmata, but my PS5 is borked. But Pragmata would be a game that I'm very interested in playing, but also in watching the speedruns. And I know the twists of the story now. I've been spoiled on it, and I've seen other people playing the game. So I don't think there's anything that I'm going to be surprised about watching a speedrun of Pragmata. But I don't know if it's worth just kicking up a speedrun just to watch Pragmata, because I'm not interested in any of the games that come after it or the 2 games that come before it. So I think Pragmata is one that we'll watch later. Because there's going to be points later on where there's huge blocks where I'm not doing anything. So I will kick that on, and then we can rewatch the Pragmata section doing those. This little Mario block right here with versus Mario Brothers, which is the arcade game version of the original Super Mario Brothers. And Super Princess Peach, that seems interesting. Transformers War for Cybertron, I've heard great things about that game. The Pokemon games are things. Sometimes they're awesome. Usually they're just kinda slogs to get through. Because this is 4 hours for Pokemon Fire Red. That's a long time. And there's a long portion of time in the Pokemon speedruns where nothing is happening. You're just watching them walk into the grass over and over and over, trying to get the RNG to hit. Yeah. We're probably going to be skipping Pokemon. And yeah, so for this day, we'll go like this section here. Versus Super Mario Brothers to the War for Cybertron. And then bail out on Pokemon for 4 hours, take a break, probably come back at the checkpoint. They haven't opened. Somebody withdrew. They have an open block here. So I guess depending, like, I'm not that interested in Wii Sports. And if there isn't anything before or after, I wouldn't tune in just for Brotherhood. So depending on what this game is will depend on when I start this block, because I would probably just kick up for Banjo and Kazooie. Not Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie. This is the sequel. And Ukulele is kind of in the same vein as Banjo. I don't know what Die Chance Great Adventures is. Die Hard Nakatomi Plaza. The Peanuts movie. Snoopy's Grand Adventure. Ah, here's Snoopy on the Commodore 64. Knuckle Bash, that's an arcade game. Why would anybody... I mean, I get this is probably the awful block. Drywall Eating Simulator? The silly block. Okay. So, like, this would be something that I would be interested in seeing, because most of these games are like 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 23 minutes, 12 minutes. Randall the Grape Jelly Cube goes to Soda Valley for some reason. Okay. So all day Thursday is the silly run. Oh, getting down here, we start getting into some... We're getting out of the silly and into the bad. Mega Man for DOS is a game. That's a game. And Zelda, the Wand of Gamelon. Definitely watching Snoopy just for the C64 representation. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna stream, like, co-stream most of the silly block here, because this sounds really fun. And Tears of the Kingdom is... These are always pretty fun speedruns. Any percent glitchless. I need to go back and finish Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not that big a fan of Tears of the Kingdom. I think Breath of the Wild is a much better game. But a lot of people swear by Tears of the Kingdom. Unbeatable. I'm not particularly interested in any of those. A 4-player Elden Ring all boss run. But that's 3 hours. I can't imagine this being actively fun for 3.5 hours. Metroid Dread, that would be fun. But none of the other stuff around after Metroid Dread would be interesting. Turtles in Time, any percent. 1 player, 1 controller? I mean, that's what that means, right? 1P, 1C is 1 player, 1 controller. How's that any different from normal? I don't know. StarCraft I'm interested in. The 2 good Kirby games I can probably skip. StarCraft and the Wind Waker I'm interested in. Slay the Spire can kinda skip. Balatro is fun. Tetris can be surprisingly fun. The Mario Maker 2 race just because I know it has Carl and Just Cook in it, who they 3 hours of skill grinding and 20 minutes of fighting the bosses. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured the Elden Ring thing is going to be, and I don't see how you can make that super entertaining. In at least not like if it was like a live stream where you're interacting with the person for the 3 hours of skill grinding, I can see that being fun, and because it's fun to interact with the streamers. But in a GDQ setting where you're just watching them and you have announcers talking at you that you can't interact with, I don't see how they could make 3 hours of grinding fun in that situation. Like I can see it in the context of live streaming, because you get to talk with the streamer, you get to interact with the streamer, and that interaction is part of the fun of being on a live stream. But in this kind of situation, it just it comes off more boring than anything else. And you absolutely do not want your you absolutely do not want your speedrun to be anywhere near the realm of boring. That's a bad thing, I think. That being said, after the Mario Maker 2, this seems like a good spot to plug in like the Pragmata run, the Metroid Dread run, and the Turtles in Time. So instead of watching the Resident Evil section right here, I'll probably go back and watch those other sections, because I'm not that interested in Resident Evil. I've only played a handful of the RE games, and some of them are good, some of them aren't. The early Resident Evil stuff is really, really rough. The remakes are nice, but you can't cover over all of the rough areas of the early Resident Evil games. And a lot of stuff in some of the later games is just kind of meh at best. I am familiar with Dying Light, but never played it. Familiar with Ghosts and Goblins, don't particularly like the game. Fragrance Point, don't know what it is. Windswept, I've heard of it. Fubuki Zero in Hollow Earth. Fubuki is one of the Hollow Stars. She's one of the Hollow Live models. The cat girl person. Shirakami Fubuki. All of the pictures are horrible. Let's do the actual HoloLive picture. So she's a VTuber from HoloLive Japan. This is one of the HoloLive fan games, which is interesting. Some of these fan games are actually really, really good. Some of them are kind of meh. Did I put those as the cheer reward on there? I just looked over and saw that Lansley has a StarCraft bronze medal next to his name, and it says cheer 1000. I'm like, is that on my... Did I use the StarCraft things as rewards on my channel? Or does that come from a different channel? I don't know. I have versions of all of these little logos, so it could be something. You have a cat as well. Oh, with regards to Fubuki? I am not following the conversation currently. You have a cat as well? Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, from Dying Light down to Environmental Station Alpha, not particularly interested. 20XX, this is a fun little Mega Man type multiplayer. The badge. Oh, you have a cat. Oh, yeah. The Fan Festival Fat Cat. Nice. Now I'm following. This is a little multiplayer roguelike Mega Man game. That's pretty fun. Mighty Gunvolt Burst. I think this is another Mega Man type game. Clash at Demon Head. I am particularly interested in this one because if you've never seen Clash at Demon Head, this is an old NES game. Clash at Demon Head. So many things from Talking Time, which is the guild the like the free company that I'm in Final Fantasy. It stems back to this web forum here, Talking Time. And Talking Time gets so many of the memes that are on this forum from two games. Princess something and the Salad Kingdom. Oops. What's it called? Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom. So, most of the memes that are on this website are from Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom. Specifically, the character of Percy in this game. And then from Clash at Demon Head. And that is 90% of the lore backing up the Talking Tyrants here. Can I search without being signed in? Search for Narishm. I've done stuff here. No results found. Maybe it probably didn't migrate over. We've changed forums so many times, and I never go on the forum anymore. But yeah, I'm particularly interested in Clash of Demon Head just because of the history with the Talking Tyrants. I think it's kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah. The Rocketeer. I remember these games on the NES and the SNES. They're not good games, but I always wanted to rent them from the video rental place because they looked fun and they were never there. So I never actually got to play them when I was young. But I was a fan of the Rocketeer movie. I remember watching it a bunch. I couldn't tell you what it's about to save my life now. But I remember young Nari loved the Rocketeer, wanted to play the game. It was never at the rental store. Gauntlet and Castlevania. This looks fun. Anywho, I'm going to take a quick little break. I will be right back. I'm back. So yeah, on this Friday, I'll probably start up at a little before 5:30 a.m. to grab this 20XX stream and go all the way down to Castlevania at 8 a.m. One hit KO sounds interesting for Castlevania. That's gonna be an interesting watch. These 5 games right here, not all that interested in. So I'll probably catch. I love the Mass Effect series, like one of my favorite game series of all time. I'm not particularly excited for this one because it says mod, and the speedrun community of this game, I wouldn't even call these. How very dare you? I mean, Scooby-Doo was just never real one of my games that I watched. Shows that I watched when I was young. I skipped Scooby-Doo for some reason. But most of the speedrunning community around the Mass Effect games is around modding the games, and they mod insane shit into the game and then say, oh, we're gonna speedrun the game, but we're gonna give us a weapon where when you pull the trigger it immediately kills every enemy on the map, and we're gonna speedrun with this. And I'm like, why don't you just hard code in winning the game the moment you turn it on? I mean, you could just do that, and your speedrun will be how close to starting the game you can trigger the win condition with a mod. Like, you're taking any kind of challenge out of your speedrun by giving yourself god weapons. And I specifically see this a lot in the Halo speedrunning community and in the Mass Effect speedrunning community. Both of them have like dozens of categories of modding like uber shit into the game and then speedrunning with that. And like, frankly, it makes me feel like, okay, you're modding all this uber shit into the game because you're not skilled enough to do the speedrun without it. I mean, that's what I get when I look at you speedrunning a game with a custom-made Uber weapon that doesn't exist anywhere in the game outside of your mod. What that screams to me is someone who's not talented enough to speedrun the game normally. That you have to build Uber shit into the game in order to get the job done. Like, how about you just get good? Yeah, that's how I feel about modded speedruns. Like, if you're playing the game casually, like, mod whatever you want into the game to make the game feel fun for you, that's fine. But if you're doing, like, speedrunning, and you are having to mod things into the game, like, I do have issue with. And like, I'm not talking about mods that let you skip cutscenes or remove cutscenes and stuff. As long as everybody is playing under those conditions, those kind of mods are fine, because that kind of stuff typically doesn't get counted towards the end all speed anyway. Because I know things like, I know that there's mods for Kingdom Hearts 2 that fix some of the original issues that crop up when speedrunning this game. I know a lot of the big RPGs that are multi-hours long have mods that remove the cutscenes. I'm not as bothered by those mods specifically. because the cutscenes aren't added towards the final time anyway, right? If everybody's having to watch the same cutscenes, then that block of time is on everybody's timer. So removing that block of time from everybody's timer doesn't affect the skill required to perform the speedrun. If you were doing like Final Fantasy IX and you made it to where you had one hit KO on every enemy and they couldn't kill you, so as soon as the fight started, fight was over, right? That wouldn't be any kind of interesting to me. That I would have no interest in something like that, because you're taking the skill out of it. Part of the fun of speedruns of games like Final Fantasy IX is watching how you defeat a boss that was designed to have your party at level 20 when your party is level 5. Like how you gonna beat this boss, and you manipulate the game mechanics to where you just like mollywop him in 2 turns, and like yeah, so like you it's like that TikTok guy. You mean to tell me I could have been doing this the whole time? Walk in there, Phoenix down the boss, and kill it in 1 hit. Because that particular boss is undead, but it doesn't tell you that that boss is undead. In Final Fantasy IX, I'm referring specifically to the Aoife tree. There's a part where you have to fight the Aoife tree boss, and you're looking at it, and it's a giant tree. So you're like, oh, this is a plant. Who would think that this boss is undead, that it's a zombie plant? Because it doesn't tell you it's a zombie plant, but it's absolutely a zombie plant. And if you cast life or throw a Phoenix down on this thing, it kills it in 1 hit. Because you bring the zombie back to life, which is death for a zombie. Speedrunners figured that out, and you walk into this fight, bing, life, boss dies in 1 hit, and you're like, yeah, it's like, you mean to tell me I could have been doing that all this time? This boss that wipes every other party that gets down there just because it's so difficult to fight. Normally, you just Phoenix down, it's fine, and he's dead. There are a lot of spots like that, specifically in Final Fantasy IX, where you can walk in there and just use an item on a boss or a really difficult enemy and kill it in 1 hit. There's an enemy later in the game that's like a giant mirror, and it's got so much health, and it makes copies of your characters that are just as powerful as your character, so you end up fighting like your own party with this thing. It's made out of rock. Well, you have an anti-petrification item in your inventory called Soft. If as soon as the fight starts, you just cast Soft on that thing, you kill it in 1 hit because it's made out of rock. I love when developers hide stuff like that, like in the game. Yeah, you know that medicine you have that unpetrifies your party members? If you use it on an enemy made out of stone, it kills them in 1 hit. Anyway, I don't know how I got sidetracked on on that. But what I am interested in is Kingdom Hearts 2 all the way up through the finale of GDQ. So I will probably be live streaming for this entire thing. Kingdom Hearts, like, I love the Kingdom Hearts series. I wish I could continue my playthrough of the Kingdom Hearts series. So I'm up here at PlayStation. But Spike Vegeta is one of the runners, and he is super entertaining. Mario 64. This is a 120-star task. I'm really interested to see a task of Mario 64. Especially a 120-star. I think that's going to be fun. Link to the Past, almost always fun. All dungeons, restricted major glitches. Kaizo Mario is typically fun. When I'm not having to play Kaizo Mario and other people who played Kaizo Mario are playing it. You skimmed through and thought there wasn't a task this season? But there is. As far as I know, there is only this one, and it's Super Mario 64. And I'm really interested in seeing a 120-star task. So from Kingdom Hearts all the way down through Expedition 33, I'm gonna be streaming for this section. So yeah, like for that whole week of GDQ, there's not going to be any normal streams. All of my streams are going to be me commentating. Like we'll have the stream up here in this little window, and then I will be over here on the side, like chatting, and I may actually make the screen like right here, like I did last time. And while we are watching the stream, I will be doing stuff in the rest of this window that is like working on different parts of like my schedule, website, or things that we need for the channel. Yeah, because last time I was doing channel upgrades and stuff while watching the GDQ up here, so I think I'll probably keep that format. And then when we get to a run that is super interesting, we'll make the GDQ thing full screen. And just watch with fun. Yeah. So yeah, that's basically the whole GDQ schedule. And I plan on doing this twice a year for the main events, AGDQ and SGDQ. Just because like I'm super excited about these events and the charities that they support. The Prevent Cancer Foundation for AGDQ and Doctors Without Borders for SGDQ. Those are two really great organizations. There are a bunch of other stuff. They've got the Frame Fatales and the Frost Fatales stuff, Black in a Flash, Hot Fix. So they have other events that go on throughout the year. They have GDQX events that happen at like PAX and stuff like that. They'll put on like a little mini GDQ over a weekend. So those are kind of fun. The GDQ channel on Twitch is always doing things these days. So, but yeah, the big events, I want to cover them, so I'm going to. Yeah. Oh. Still feeling kind of meh. And I know I have another dose of insulin coming up. Oh. It always takes me, I don't know why it makes me so sick, but it takes me like a day or two to get like reacclimated to it. And for that first like 2 days, 3 days, I'm just like nauseated all the time. I don't know if insulin is supposed to do that, but it does. After a couple of days of taking it, it wears off. So I'm guessing I get used to it. But yeah, those first couple of days are kind of, ooh, ooh. Anyway, what we have on the docket today. Oh, I need to turn that off. There we go. What I have on the docket today is finishing the water temple area. Now, I'd gone through a good portion of the water temple. We have the whole upstairs as well. And there are some things downstairs that I haven't hit yet. Okay. Okay, going into this room. Oh, guess not. Okay. Down here. It says there's a box in this room. So I can drain that. Just there, but didn't say there's a... No, there's a box in the next room. Over here that I did not get. Oh, okay. So I just have to battle the crocodiles. Oh, that was dangerous. And then raise the water level and we can take the bridge back across. What does raising the water level in that particular room get me? Trade ends, distribution begins. Okay, so I've got that. It says up and to the left. So there's a box in this room that I can't get yet, because this is a return. But I can go this way. I froze him. Okay. All right. Six hits. Don't have a key. Okay. Need an additional key to clear that room. says there's a box down there, though. But I can't get it because I'm blocked. That's right, that's the return room. And I can't get to the ones on the top left because I'm blocked. Okay. So that only leaves the down area right here, which has a ladder I can get to. Or stairs, rather. Okay. I know that the water here has a hard corner. I noted in the cave tiles that the water came to a hard corner and it looked bad. And the dev fixed it, that only in the caves. Everywhere else in the game, the water still has hard corners. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright. Now we can cross. Why let me change the water again on the other side? Okay. Well, if that's what that does, what's over here? Okay. There's a box in here. A medium mana potion. Okay. A reset. Oh, I see. And then I go back up to turn the water back on, and I can come down through here again. Key, yes. Okay. That key will allow me to get up through the next room. Now, this allows me to do a couple of different things. First, I can get this. Why is this possible? Oh, because this is actually no. I can just do that. Okay, yeah. Why is that a thing? Okay. I need water to reach that middle platform. I need a key. Okay, coming over here. There's nothing in this room. But the room above. There is something in that room. There's a box right there. I guess my character sprite was over top of it. Yeah. Okay, and then going in that room, going up. Can't get up that way. Uh-huh. Hey, a medium health potion. Booyah. Bass, 5 kilograms, 20 gold. Octopus, 2 kilograms, 50 gold. Salmon, 5 kilograms, 65 gold. Tuna, 220 kilograms, 480 gold. Crab, 4 kilograms, 60 gold. Lobster, 1 kilogram, 55 gold. Mussels, 1 kilogram, 40 gold. With these processes, we can continue the works on the fish farms. Okay. So I can get around there now. Okay. Go ahead and use this health potion. Does coming over here with everything up get me anything? Go back in here now. He was attacking while frozen. Money. Okay. Why are the down blocks stopping me? Okay. If I go this way or that way. Okay, both of those are... So it would seem I need to go this way. Okay. This way. But I can't manipulate this room properly. Huh. Okay, let's take a look at this. I can't get to that top left box. I can't get to the top right box. I don't see how that on the top right will help me there. I mean, I can try the down path again. Okay. Really? Okay. So I can go north from here. And that's this room, which only leads to the ladder in the top corner there. Which is what gives me access to this room. And there's nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing I can do in this room. Hmm. Okay. Go back to the start. Okay. Go check out this area. I need to get over there. Or over there. Both of which seem off limits right now. I can get that box down there. That's probably progression. key? Yes. Alright. Now with this key I can go in here. And this might give me the water element. I'm at full everything. Okay. Come on, you. Ow. Okay. I think the balance on that guy is still off a little bit. Wow. Send me in random directions. You can't freeze the water bubble, but you can freeze him. So the problem with this fight is enemy health. I mean, he just has way too much health. That boss fight would have been fine if it was like 4 or 5 iterations, but when you're getting into 15 or 16 iterations of the same thing with no new mechanics or anything, your boss has too much health. Waves that carry me, grant me a sea where I can flee. Okay. So now we can just go collect the things that we are missing. Yay, money. I need to turn the water on again. Okay. That's right. You need ice to scoot those around. Okay. Hmm. Okay, key. The word giving a speech. Okay. Right, so now we can go this way. Okay. Let's go this way. So this allows me access to the different quadrants of this floor. Hmm. Okay. All right. light the 4 torches. Okay. Okay. Foreman's log. The works on the pools are progressing. We need to adjust the valve. Note, increase the quote by 20%. Fish market aren't the only ones raising their prices. Okay. We can hit that. And then we hit this. Exactly. Okay. Mana shard. Okay. Aha! Ooh, new heart container. Nice. Okay, so I got that. I think that's this floor entirely cleared. We've got boxes on that side. I've still got to light the torch on that side. Wait a minute. There's a thing. The violent outburst was unbecoming of me, but seeing the temple like this, now with time I've understood. The market is good. Okay. don't know if raising the water level here will get me anything. Okay, I'm gonna take a quick little break. I will be right back. Alrighty, I have returned. Alright. I need... Okay, I think we go this way. And we can turn the water back up and then get back to that middle platform there. Oh no, the water's up in this area. Okay. Oh my gosh. I don't like damage spongy enemies. Way too many hits to kill that enemy. Okay. Okay. Booyah. Ooh. The water mineral. Yay, cheese. Guess I just gotta farm hearts. Because the damage sponge is real. Wow, through the wall? Okay. Okay. Okay, so that interesting. Oh, one moment. Alrighty. So, but that was a phone call. Okay. All I need to do over here is hit the switch. And then solve for over here. Raise the water level. Okay. Yay, money. That would get me in this room. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so there's no way to solve that from here. It can only be solved from the bottom floor, going a completely different direction. How does that solve anything? It doesn't. Hmm. Okay. Nice. Now I can get this. Boss key. And now okay. Boss. Oh, I remember this boss. Come on. Can you let me? Wow. Trapped in the corner. Very great boss fight mechanics. I'm still not really happy with that boss. Now, before you can really do anything, you gotta get into each of these pits and put down the nature things. In most of the places, you can't get trapped in the corner. But I did note during the beta, in the bottom right hand, you can get absolutely trapped in the corner, and you can't get out. Okay. Nice. Yay! Heart container. Yeah, we just go behind it. Oh. There we go. Light all the torches. Water element restored. You have attained the water container. Nice. Hello, Hatman. Congratulations, child. You have done it. Now, if you would be so kind, I need your help. You see, these people trust me. I cannot disappoint them. When I give the signal, play along. Don't get sidetracked. You can then get on with your life as if nothing happened. Agreed? Friends, neighbors, countrymen, lend me your ears. We have done it. With our resolve, we have brought the elemental to us, and it has brought the element. We have cleansed the temple. Hooray, praise be to us. Not only that, inside we have found ourselves. The element has spoken to me. I am no longer the word. I will wrap this child in a bubble, and you shall see my transformation. Now. Bubble. I am no longer the word, neighbors, friends. I am now the act. And together we shall cleanse all of Elvigir. To the act! I am helping this man with his cult. I am not the artist formerly known as the word. Oh boy. Okay. That is going to be it for the gaming portion of today's stream. As I did start late because I wasn't feeling well, and I'm still not feeling well, but it is Survivor night with Narishm tonight. Tonight is the season finale of Survivor. So for the next couple of Wednesdays, there's not going to be like early Wednesday streams. We're going to go back to a more normal schedule, streaming a little bit later into the evening, hopefully, with the streams. Yeah, because Survivor is finaleing tonight, and then it's going to be off the air for a couple of months while they prep up the next season. So I'm going to go and get ready for that. Try to find Narishm some appropriate snackage. Yeah, we only have the stuff that we could get from Stan, so I should be able to find her something appropriate. Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking of, what do we have in there? We have a bunch of stuff now. I don't know what you would want. I know what she wants. She wants chicken. Because she always wants the chicken. But we don't have any chicken. I will discover something. Anyway, what else is there to chit chat about? If you guys tuned into I don't know if Lojo was tuned in to the live stream on Monday. If it's finale, want some KFC money? You don't have to send KFC monies. You don't have to. I will leave that. I will leave that up to you whether or not you want to or not. But you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. You lurked on Monday. Did you hear what happened to my finger? I explained it in Lady's stream on Monday. But I believe it's called a paronychia, right? It's an infection right next to your fingernail that like fills up with like blood and pus and stuff and gets really, really painful. So on Sunday night, I spent like all night at the hospital, and they lanced it. And lancing it involves, in the words of my doctor, he took a scalpel and he ran it starting at the base of the nail all the way up to the front, carving a canal for the blood and pus and everything to escape from. like lancing it that way. So yeah, he's stuck a scalpel between the side of my finger and the skin down in there at the base of the nail and sliced all the way up towards the front of the finger. That was fun. And then he looks at me afterwards like, "Babe, do you feel better?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know, because the pain of the pain of the little cyst thing that was in there has now been replaced by the pain of you slicing my finger open. Like, I don't know if it's better. Is it supposed to feel better? Your numbing agent isn't doing anything, because they like put lidocaine cream all over my finger to numb it. Didn't numb it at all." And the doctor's like, "Yeah, and it usually doesn't." I'm like, "Then why did you put it on there? If you knew it wasn't going to do anything, why put it on there and make me wait an extra half hour thinking that this was going to do something, only to come in and say, yeah, it usually doesn't do anything? You just do the slicing then. If I'm gonna feel it anyway, it's a placebo. So in order for a placebo to work, I have to believe that it's going to work. If the doctor comes in and tells me it's not going to work, like, that's not how placebos work. So yeah. I that's also why I canceled the stream on Tuesday. Was because I couldn't touch anything with that finger, because when it had the cyst on it, every time I touched something to the finger, it hurt extremely bad. So I'm like, okay, I'll go get it lanced. Then after the lancing, because of the lancing, anything that touched the finger hurt extremely bad. So I couldn't hold a controller, and I couldn't click on the mouse. And I couldn't just rest the finger next to the mouse, because it was right next. It was constantly touching the side of the mouse. Finale mill. What hast thou donest? Let me see. That's the wrong button. That's the wrong button. Bum, bum, bum. Finale monies. Nice. I guessing about the price of a KFC meal. That should cover it. That should. Thank you. Thank you. Much appreciated. Mm-hmm. Don't get the 11 herbs and spices in your food. I have it wrapped up in a Band-Aid, and I've been following the instructions that they are that they gave me, which is to soak it in water for 30 minutes twice a day in warm water. Twice a day. I have things opening on this screen over here. But yeah, soak it in warm water for like 20 minutes twice a day, and then put Neosporin on it, and then like wrap it up in a Band-Aid. Bum, bum, bum. Alrighty. I've got all the buttons over there clicked in their clickable fashions. But yeah. I don't think there's anything else to announce. I think we could. Yeah. Yeah. I am hoping to get something Final Fantasy 14 related up. What is this emoji? Greedy goose? Okay, I don't know what that means. Anyway, I am hoping to get some Final Fantasy 14 news up, but I don't have anything set up for that yet. But I am aiming on something on that account a little bit later. Yeah. As for right now, I think we have discussed all of the things. I have an hour and 10 minutes before Survivor starts to go get things proper for it. So I will head off and do that. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for more Bear and Breakfast. Let's see who's out there in Twitch land that we can throw our raid at. Who is doing fun stuff? Fun stuff. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Lots of big streams online. You know, Ellie's online and she's playing more Silksong. So I will toss you guys over towards Ellie Joy Panic again. Fun streamer. Yeah, and I'm going to go off and get everything ready for the Survivor finale for Narimon and I. Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow with Bear and Breakfast. We're making good progress on that. So yeah. Thank you all for being so awesome and for helping with the finale monies. And I will catch y'all on the flip side. Nari out.